Hello, my name is Clint Dietz, the CEO of Hydrodine. Hydrodine is a novel catalytic process that eliminates emissions and produces heat, power, and instrument air. It allows producers to meet their emissions standards in a cost-effective way. At Hydrodine Catalytics, we're pioneering a clean technology that has zero emissions, lowers cap OPEX with greater safety. Our leadership team is qualified by over 100 years of oil and gas experience that gives us frictionless access to customers. I have over 30 years of business and project management experience on 6 different continents. I'm an accredited investor and a serial entrepreneur with a Harvard Business School education. Ryan Woodley, our Chief Technology Officer, the system inventor, grew up in the oil and gas industry as an instrumentation and controls technician and as a business owner. And he has extensive oil and gas industry relationships. Trevor Muir and Cameron Craig are the CEO and CFO, respectively, of SharePoint Technologies Group, our lead investor. SharePoint is a oil field instrumentation electrical contractor, and they've been operating profitably for over 2 decades. David Turner rounds out the management team with his extensive knowledge of pressure vessels and industry certifications and regulations. He's the former president of CESCO. Not shown here, but equally as important is Russ Graham, the president of Trido Industries. He heads up our advisory board. He leads a clean technology company himself, and he continues to work with us on our technology development and introductions to customers. So without further ado, let's get into the technology, its benefits, and the field trials that we'd like to do with you. The Hydrodine system solves a big problem. Western Canadian gas producers are severely penalized because of a massive 59 million ton methane emissions problem at over 350,000 operating wells. In Alberta alone, over the next 5 years, producers will spend $7 billion on methane emissions reductions. Even without compliance obligations, our system improves the efficiency of operating gas wells. As you can see on the left-hand diagram, the current configuration has both combustion and venting emissions from catalytic heaters and pneumatic devices. This legacy system doesn't meet today's regulatory requirements. It's old technology, and it hasn't been improved for decades, and it's the biggest methane emitter. It's not viable going forward, and it's ready for disruption. Hydrodine has a solution. In the right-hand diagram, you can see our unique compact platform technology. We remove the current methane-emitting catalytic heater and simply replace it with our zero-emission solution that is easily integrated. 1 unit, 1 shift. Basically, it's plug and play. Well, how does this technology actually work? Hydrodine provides our customers with a fully regulatory compliant system. In our system, hydrogen peroxide passes over a catalyst to produce heat to keep the separator shed warm. A fuel cell incorporated into the unit provides low voltage power to run the electrics, as well as providing compressed air for the pneumatic devices. This diagram illustrates the commercial unit. In our beta prototype, we're currently running in a field trial, we use solar panels to produce power. On the left-hand side is a 3D model of how the Hydrodine system fits into a typical separator shed. Hydrodine is easily integrated into the existing shed because it's a streamlined design, and it can be specifically tailored and scaled to a single or multiple well well pads. Based on our discussions with Tourmaline Oil Corp, we can take out 35% of the capital cost of their typical shed and somewhere just over 10% for operating and maintenance costs. On the right-hand side is a photo of the beta prototype. You can see the dimensions are listed at the bottom of the picture. The commercial unit will be about 2/3 of the size. It will be smaller, making it even more compact and efficient. Field trial results are better than we'd actually expected. We're still producing around 8,500 BTU per hour, but we're using less than 50% of the calculated hydrogen peroxide, which is less than 5 US gallons per day or 20 liters per day, at an operating pressure of less than 150 psi. We had actually expected an operating pressure of close to 350 psi. Our system has been engineered for safety. The system design code is to B313 CSA Z662 standard. This makes our system regulatory compliant, especially because it's been signed off by a professional engineer, third-party engineer. By using our system, producers can actually derate their separator shed from Class 1 Div 1 to Class 1 Div 2. Just a quick story about safety. Charlie Kettner works for ARC Resources in northeastern British Columbia, Canada. We spoke with him a few months ago, and he'd actually survived a methane explosion in a separator shed that nearly took his life. He has become a real supporter of this system, and simply because it eliminates fuel gas altogether. Our competitive advantages are zero emissions. We eliminate fuel gas. We give producers the ability to avoid emissions penalties and capture offset gas credits. And we generate power at remote sites. There isn't any other one technology that is a 3-in-1 solution like Hydrodine. We've submitted provisional patents in Canada and the US and have trade secrets for the proprietary catalyst and the fuel cell. Full patent applications will be submitted in September. We're currently conducting a field trial with our beta prototype, BP 1.0 as it's affectionately known. We've started value engineering and optimization that will go into the design, fabrication, and assembly of BP 2.0. We have letters of support from both Cenovus and Whitecap Resources. Actually, we had 3 Cenovus corporate and field personnel come and see our unit last Tuesday. Daryl, who's the area manager in Edson for Cenovus, said, "I want to be the first with this technology." They asked for a budget. We've given them budget numbers, estimates, and we've submitted that. And now together we're planning out the exact location and timing for their field trial. Whitecap Resources is currently scheduling a visit to our BP 1.0 field test site. We expect that to happen in early August. Our business model is straightforward. It's a B2B sales model where we utilize cost-efficient contract manufacturing and our lead investors' sales channels to sell right directly to the customers. This is sustained by multiple recurring revenue streams, as you can see. The product itself, the catalyst, transportation and purchase of the chemical, and of course, install, commissioning, and ongoing maintenance. We have a 3-phase pilot strategy from site selection to planning to field execution. Hydrodine is looking to conduct at least 2 field trials at the locations identified in the slide and with the timelines identified. But we're open to alternatives and happy to discuss those with gas producers. We're a get-her-done company and we'll be ready to begin those trials in the field in January next year. We expect that those trials will last about 2 to 3 months. Thank you. Hydrodine, the only complete solution. zero emissions, lower capex, greater safety.